Saying what the,
One lump sum, or are we gonna be month by month by month
What is-
before we can approve?
what is the issue?
If it's gonna, if we're able to get our PSA back in 10 months, then they don't need the $60,000 or $70,000. If we can go month by month by month and divvy it up over, those months, then maybe that'll save our town some money versus just giving it to them outright.
Well, he
Okay,
just said in the contract there's a backup.
Explain a fiscal year, if that would help.
So I think to help you here, we will know the date if and when the PSA gets back to us, the town of Morris. We'll know that date, so we can plan for that date and distribute the money accordingly.
Okay, and that's in the contracts. I just wanna make sure that all bases are covered before we approve that.
I think all bases are pretty much covered. We worked with LVA, Town of Litchfield and Bantam Fire, and fire commissioners in Litchfield for many months to get this contract where it is. And it has been gone over by the attorneys for both the Town of Morris and the Town of Litchfield very carefully to make sure it's fair for both sides.
It's a pretty simple question though, Tom, and you must agree. Either we're gonna give them $62,000 or we're gonna pay them every month. I don't understand why that question can't be answered.
We're paying it in 1 month.
Each month, one lump sum. All right.
That's all we want.
That's what I already said.
It's already signed, in the contract.
It's in the contract. It's what I already previously said.
I can't hear you.
I'd like to call the
I
question.
still make a motion to call the question.
Can we call the question?
Sure, go ahead. Yes, I'd like to make a motion to call the question, please.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to call the question. It's non-debatable. All those in favor of
Why are you now? Moderator is.
You're not the moderator.
we're going to vote on whether or not to call the question. If you vote no, then you can go on with more questions.
Are you saying
If
there's
you
no
vote
more
yes,
public input?
We're voting.
I am saying we are going to call the question. A motion has been made and seconded.
Whoa.
Is there any question to that? All those in favor of calling the question, say aye.
Aye.
All those that wish to continue debate, say nay.
Nay.
The ayes have it, we will vote on the question. Okay,
Do we have a paper ballot?
the question,
I make a motion to have a paper ballot.
I second it.
I third it.
you will wait till I recognize you.
Yes, sir.
Watch your language, please.
Okay, a motion has been made to vote on item number 2 on the ballot. Another motion has been made to do it by paper ballot. Is there a second to that motion? It's been seconded.
Second,
Okay,
my name's Abby Orzel. I didn't know if you knew who I was, sorry.
I don't.
That's right.
Oh, that's why I
can't
was
see
told
your
to
head,
say
that's
my
why
name.
it's good that you told me. And Adele, you were. Yep.
okay, all those in favor of voting by paper ballot, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed to voting by paper ballot?
Aye. Show hands.
Show of hands.
Bigger. Show hands.
Hand vote. Show of hands.
It really wasn't much of a question. I would have said we don't vote by paper ballot.
Good.
I'm always happy to do a paper ballot. It's,
Can we show of hands?
you can do a show of hands, but it's really tough in this room.
No.
Try it anyhow.
All right, let's do it.
All right, show of hands. All those in favor
Wait,
of
get
voting.
somebody to count first.
Yeah, okay, we've got our registrar right here. And if you want to appoint someone to help you, so divide the room in half.
This is for a paper ballot, correct?
No, this is just a show of hands.
Right, to do a paper ballot or not to do a paper ballot?
For a
Okay.
paper ballot.
Anyone who votes yes wants a paper ballot. Those voting no do not want a paper ballot. So the first one is to vote yes on a paper ballot. Show of hands.
What was the number?
23.
Thank you.
Okay, all those opposed to voting by paper ballot? I think it's fairly obvious.
Are you voting?
Okay, keep your hands up, please.
Too late for everybody.
Okay. I have your attention. The vote is to vote by voice. All those in favor of passing the motion as written on the call, say aye. Aye. All those in favor of defeating the motion, say nay. Nay! The ayes have it. Okay. Have your attention.
I'd like to, excuse me, quiet please. I'd like to thank Chief Podolsky and the members of LDA for coming out tonight, answering the questions that you had. He's always available if you want to talk to him. If you have further questions, just contact him, please. Thank you very much, Chief.
I just reiterate what Tom said, we are here to help you pick up the phone, okay? Call Tom, I'll give you my personal phone number, I got it all day, all the time, I know what questions that I can't do. We can be of assistance to you directly, and through Chief Ebner, and Tom, and any other agencies in this town. Feel free to pick up the phone and call. I'm more than willing to work with everybody.
Enjoy our check.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Can we have your attention, please? Okay, to take such action as the voters deem best with respect to the adoption of an ordinance entitled Ordinance to Adopt Morristown Beach Parking Policy. Can we have a motion to put this on the floor, please?
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay, the motion is made, seconded, all right. Does someone want to speak to this? Kristen, did you want to speak to this?
Yeah, we are.
Okay. Come on up.
Good evening, everybody. We're going to try to do this as quickly as we possibly can because I'm all talking and once you get that going, we'll be good. Because I know it's snowing out. So, in the last few years, we've had several complaints about what's been going on excuse me?
Bob, hold your voice, Bob.
Interrupt, please.
One more time, Bob, one more time, and I'll have to ask you to leave.
Whoa, whoa.
So I've been stopped multiple times by different people who live in town. I myself have seen with my own eyes, different situations down at the beach, which include, probably upwards of 100 people, on the beach, swimming with boats coming in, making it quite dangerous, doing things that are pretty much illegal, illegal in general, never mind that, they're not allowed on the beach, which we do have pictures of. Kristen has a whole, couple of different slides to show you of what we're talking about, because people think we're crazy, but when you go to the beach on the weekends now, or on the holidays, it's, become very out of control and a dangerous situation. And what's gonna happen is that somebody's gonna get hurt, because people come in and they're driving their boats right up out of the beach and there's like little kids swimming and it's not being monitored. And unfortunately for us to monitor the beach, we need funds to do that. Beach and Rec doesn't have a very big budget. You know, we've been trying to do a lot of fundraising and such, but in order to put a guard, what we'd like to do is put a guard at the end of the beach on the weekends and holidays to monitor the people coming in and to let there be a presence on the beach so that people know they can't just, for example, send out jet skis from the beach, or they can't camp. We've had tents and people sleeping there and they can't do that. And we don't want to do that, none of us want to have to pay, I don't want to have to pay for my town beach, I pay enough in taxes already, I shouldn't have to do that. But in order for us to keep it kind of a safe situation, the only way we can legally do it is to charge a parking fee to people from out of town. We have to do it from people who live in town. So Kristen's going to show you some of the things that we've taken pictures of, she's taken pictures of, and what we've seen.
So as they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So this is just an example of some of the trash that I pick up during the summer on a weekday passing through. It's on a random Monday morning in June. We started monitoring and locking the gate on the weekends. And this was one weekend that our commission member Dwayne Pond had gone down to lock the gate and found an entire family camped out over by the Horseshoe Pavilion, a 5-man tent there. They hooked into the electricity under the pavilion, they had some grills going, and the dog tied up, right, Greg?
Yeah.
It's a real crazy situation. Obviously, Dwayne had asked them to vacate, and they did end up leaving.
It's a great place to do that, but you can't.
The Morristown Beach gate was vandalized of people trying to enter the beach when the beach was closed. We instilled set hours that the beach would be open on the weekend, and someone apparently was not, didn't like our hours, and they said they were going to go in anyway, so they actually removed the entire, it's like a swinging gate, they removed the entire gate off of the post and then swung it open and went and set up their party for the weekend.
Those were actually Morse residents too, those weren't anybody else.
This is just another example. It's kind of a little bit difficult to tell in the photo, but you know, when I go through and do my routine checks, this was something that I found after a weekend, again in late June, just garbage just everywhere, trash just everywhere, and I just spend way too much time picking up garbage when I'm supposed to be scheduling activities. I know I'm not going to let that die, sorry. The 4th of July was honestly one for the record at the Morristown Beach. It was just, and Jamie can attest to that too, he's also on our commission. There were at least 50 cars in the parking lot, right Jamie?
50 plus.
This was later in the day. I went to check on things at the beach myself on a holiday. You know, there's families just gathered there, just setting up things, taking over the space, playing really loud music, like all of that.
I think also on this day, 4th of July, the state police were called. I'm sorry. The state police were called, and there were 3 troopers down there to take care of a few behavioral issues.
Yeah, there were some fights that happened. And one of the fights I believe happened because a boat came into a swimming section and almost took out some kids. And then arguments ensued, and then the police had to be involved. But I can tell you this, so I work in the summertime, I work at, this is a little aside, but I work at Camp Wasty next door, and I happen to be at camp wearing a staff shirt, and it says staff on it, and I made a friend of mine walk through with me, just because I'm the chairman, and I wanted to see what was going on the 4th of July, and we walked through, and it was interesting about everybody's eyes kind of went to us because we did have staff on it, and everybody became very, oh, there's somebody here kind of watching. And I really think that's just what we need. We just need a presence there to be kind of seeing what's happening. If there is a situation that gets out of control, being able to call somebody. Yes.
So such heavy activity that's not being monitored or watched really puts the strain on our resources. I mean, these are not the most pleasant photos, but I mean, really, I think you really need to see. So this is the women's restroom after the 4th of July. It's a 2-stall restroom for those of you who aren't aware. So this is the handicap one as well, and that's the regular restroom after the 4th of July. There is another one, I'm sparing you that photo. This is something that we saw up at the Morristown Beach, this group of young adults, hanging out. I asked them if I could take their photo, and they said, yeah, no problem. They even offered me a hit on the photo too, but of course, I did decline. They were watching their friends, again, as Lisa mentioned, jet ski, right up onto the beach. Kids are in the water. It really is truly a dangerous situation. So we are just asking for your support on behalf of Morris Beach and Recreation. We're asking for your support of this ordinance so that we can protect our assets and keep the Morristown Beach a safe place for all of us to visit and enjoy.
Question? May I say that?
We can direct those to Lisa.
Go ahead, go ahead.
What would the estimated cost, because I believe another option would be, I believe that you have to charge, you can only charge twice as much and everything. It all has to do with using federal funds, I think, to put the septic in years ago.
Right.
So, but I believe another option is to limit it only to Morris residents, to not allow out-of-town residents with no fee, but we'd have to pay the cost, obviously, of monitoring it and the person at the gate or something. So can you tell us what you think your estimated cost is? People in town may decide that they're willing to pay that through their tax dollars rather than having to pay a fee to go. First of all, I agree, it's out of control. I used to go there, I've lived here 25 years. It's unbelievable what's happened. It's definitely a bad situation and something has to be done. But are you talking about one person at the gate? I don't know how that does any good with what's happening at the beach.
We're hoping to start with one person at the gate, because what we're hoping is that people are going to come. You aren't going to be able to buy a day pass at the gate. You are going to have to buy the pass at the town hall, which I don't think the majority of the people that are coming are going to do that. So we're hoping that they're going to then drive a half a mile up to Sandy Beach, which is a public beach with lifeguards and everything that we have, but it's safe. That's what we're hoping will happen. And what was the rest of the question? I'm not sure about that number.
I mean, there must be an
How much it
estimated budget or something.
You're asking what exactly?
What do you think the cost is going to be for seasonal coverage? What do you
Okay, so
expect
we
to
are
pay?
estimating that we need at least 2 people to cover the gate, alternating on the weekends and major holidays. We're hoping that we can pay them a measly $12 per hour, so that roughs out to about $4,000 a season.
Okay.
That would be from Memorial Day until Labor Day, and also include the 4th of July and Labor Day itself as a holiday.
I thought you were asking me if we only opened it up. We can only open it up to Morris residents if we had taken federal, state funding for things, correct?
Yeah, I'm
I
not
think
even sure,
that's
there
only
was
if
a
you charge a
lawsuit
fee.
against the town of
I don't
Greenwich.
think that's true.
Right.
There was a major lawsuit against the town of Greenwich who tried to do that with one of their beaches. They tried to make it a Greenwich residents only beach. It was fought and they lost. So this is where the parameters come, where you charge Morris residents 1 fee and you charge out-of-town residents a comparable fee. You cannot only charge out-of-town residents.
I understand that.
Yes, right there.
Please, Veronica Florio, one of my concerns is for the people that are gonna be guarding the beach. Are they gonna be like armed security guards? You get somebody who comes, this is underpaid, $60, and they whip out a gun and go, boom!
Yeah.
Because you pissed me off today, and it just sounds really confrontational to me.
you know, it could be, we're gonna try hard not to put in, you know, like a teenage girl. We're hoping to get some, maybe some retired gentlemen that might have a bigger presence. Not that a teenage girl doesn't have a presence.
No, but
I know I
still,
did.
what's the is I'm not paying and I'm coming and
Well,
they.
I mean, that's a what if, that's a what if, no matter where you work, we will call the police, they're gonna have a, we're going to make,
One at a time.
we are going to make sure that they have
You let
access
them
to
go
a
in and you
phone.
call the cops.
Right, they're not going to be armed, correct?
They will not be armed, no, they will not be armed. And I'm hoping, like I said, most of the people, once they can't get in because they don't have a day pass, are gonna go up to Sandy Beach and that's gonna stop a lot of what's going on. Go ahead.
Okay, you wanna have this go forward, you're showing your little pictures of a little bit of garbage here and there. Campers, we do have state police that come through there periodically that can do more patrols. So, you know, okay, once in a while you have this problem. Jamie wants to say, oh, we had 50 people. Where's your example of what you've had in the previous history? You've got nothing to go by what your history is. Kristen wants to say, oh, she's been picking up garbage. That's our town guy's job down at the beach, by the way. Hey, you know, why don't you just admit it? You're wasting our money. You didn't put together a real good budget on what this is gonna cost us taxpayers to run this program, and maybe $4,000. Doesn't work for me.
Well, then you can note it down, thank you for your
It's a
opinion.
number, you
Thank
guys
you.
made out of your mind,
No.
it doesn't work.
No,
Okay, you made your
sorry
point.
that. Unfortunately, I have lived here my entire life and went to day camp there and did all of it, so I'm very, very well aware of the history of the beach. I'm a Harrison as well, so I'm very well versed on the beach. Go ahead.
On Sunday afternoons for the last 4 years, we've gotten together at my son's place on the lake. I want to say there's anywhere from 12 to 15 of us. For the last 4 years, I've seen an increase when we live directly across from the town beach. When you look directly across from the town beach, first there were a few little families and they played volleyball. The next year there were double the amount, let's say 15 to 20. The next year it was 30. Last year, I would say every other Sunday, we were holding our breaths, watching people on ski-doos and motorboats go into the beach and drive their boats and their ski-doos up onto the beach where people were playing volleyball and little kids were swimming. It sounded like we were being invaded by people who have no respect for anyone or anything, and they could just come in and invade it. And we ended up, I mean, we were scared. We got in boats and went over. We took pictures. She's not exaggerating. I'm sorry. If she's saying anything, it's under how bad it really is. So I say vote for it.
Well, if there's somebody at the gate, they're not gonna, first of all, some of they, what's the word, not more, well, they do more right at the beach, but they send them, they, what's the word, guys?
Launch them.
Launch, what I'm trying to
Yeah,
say, they launch them right from the beach, so they can't launch from the beach, hopefully they're not gonna,
I mean,
they're not gonna come back.
stop other ones coming in from other parts of the lake.
And this
So
is,
maybe we could put up a rope that's like a no boat zone.
this
so
is
that
a
there
first,
an
this is
area.
a first
Yes.
step.
I want to see that.
This is the first step. Beach and Rec is working really hard at trying to procure funds. We would eventually like to have lifeguards, we would eventually like to have a swimming area, but all those things take money. And so right now, we're just trying to make it safe.
Go down the road to that.
Go ahead.
Do you estimate that the revenue that you're gonna get off of the parking passes will pay for the?
That's what we are hoping. I have no idea how many people are in
No,
town.
I'm asking if you're estimating that, and if it goes
Yes.
over, where is that money allocated for the Beach and Rec's budget, if there's any over? Or does that go into the general
Not
fund?
specifically by line item, no.
Yeah, I believe that would go back into the general fund, Kevin,
Okay,
if there were any overage.
okay.
Yeah.
But your plan is to try and break even
That's our plan, is to try,
Yeah.
try to cover the expense, right?
So,
Yes.
As chair of the ordinance committee, I still don't understand how you're going to deal with, say, a family that has 30 people coming to the pavilion for a birthday party, or all the people that are going to,
Sports
you know,
events.
play sports fests or whatever.
So if it's on the weekend, and that's gonna happen, we already know that, all of that information, and we will have the guard that will be at the gate will know that Madistonians are having a party or they're having a party. So people who come to the gate, why are you here? We're here for the Madistonian party, go ahead. I mean, could somebody sneak in and say they're going to the party and they're not going to the party? Yeah. But same thing with sporting events. We're gonna know that there's a lacrosse game at 2 o'clock. People are gonna say, we're here for the lacrosse game, and they'll be led into cars. We're trying to be we're not trying to, be crazy strict. We're just trying to solve some of the problem. Yes.
Yeah, I was under the assumption, being a new resident, that this was a private Morristown beach, so obviously you're saying it isn't, and this is out-of-town people coming in?
Yes.
Okay.
Without, yes.
And, so then, hence this pass, yes. But also, is there a way to account for this, so over time, over years, to see, the demographic, or, who's local and who's out of town? So that you can adjust it over time, and hey, we don't even need to,
I truly believe that this is gonna nip 75% of the problem in the bud. I truly do. I think this is gonna help the situation a lot. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Go ahead.
There's a line item for security, so there's, is it an ADP? No, that's payroll, what's the security?
What is there? ADP?
Yeah, AP,
ADP.
so don't we have that?
We do have an alarm system. We have an alarm system on the building. Is that
on
what
the
you're asking?
pavilion itself.
So why not get a couple of cameras? Just get a couple of
We
cameras.
do have a couple of cameras.
And
There are some
say that
cameras.
There's cameras.
But you can see what there's people doing things on the cameras, but then what? We don't know who they are, where they're from.
Just having
It's called the cops.
will make a real difference, and license plates, and people know that.
There are cameras installed there, Carrie. There are cameras at the pavilion that point out as far as they can, into the area, and then all around the pavilion area. They're not up to date, they're not the most high-tech cameras, they probably really should be upgraded and updated. And there probably should be more cameras, but as you know, all of that costs money.
But that doesn't stop them from setting up shop and setting up pavilions and moving tables around and leaving their garbage everywhere.
Then you call the cops.
The next day?
Vin, go ahead, Vin.
Do the cameras tape over after?
They last for 30 days.
It's 30 days?
Right, correct.
So if I call you and say I saw certain things that happened, it would have to be right away and you could see it?
It has to be within 30 days. But the technology on these security cameras does not reach the beach area. It's primarily focused to the pavilion area.
Is it possible to get some money to put cameras where they're really needed, like even at the gate and at the beach? A camera there and a camera there, you're accomplishing a lot.
Yes, and that is something that we have as planned to happen, especially at the end, like you said, at the gate. So you can see who's taking down the gate or breaking down the gate or going around the gate.
But that's not gonna stop them from people from still showing up.
Vinny was gonna talk.
Want to run something by you. I know you guys put a lot of work into this, and you say here that you're charging for a parking pass.
Right.
Now, if you remember a few years ago, we used Town Aid Road to improve the parking lot and the street going into the town beach.
Right.
Now, how does the state handle using Town Aid Road and trying to take the parking?
Well, that's why we have to open it up to everybody in the state.
Yeah, but when you use Town Aid Road, are you allowed to charge, because you use government money to upgrade your facility? Now you wanna charge people?
According to our attorney, yes, we can. As long as it's open to everybody in the state, yes, we can. And they're the ones who suggested as well that it's a parking pass as far as, instead
It's not
of
a
a
beach
usage fee.
pass.
It's not a beach pass, it's a parking pass.
So if I call OPM tomorrow morning and ask them.
I don't know about OPM, I did not call them, I'm just telling you what our attorney
They
said.
govern Town Aid Road,
I'm sorry?
they control Town Aid Road.
We did Beach and Rec check with them? No, we did not, but we did pass
So
this
if I call
through the
them up
attorney.
tomorrow and they say that you absolutely cannot do that.
Then let me know, yeah, let us know.
Then I will have a volunteer signage fee for anyone who wants to come and help me pick up garbage and monitor the entrance,
There you go.
okay?
Yep.
Like the town group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Erica?
I just wanted to thank Kristen and the Beach and Rec Commission. There's been a huge uptick in activities, and I think everyone in town appreciates it. And I fully support this first step effort to clean up Town Beach. I think most people in town want it. So thank you very much. There wasn't a motion, there was.
It'll make it safe.
That was a cheerleader. Go ahead, Marion.
It just made me think of something, this is a parking pass, so people could walk in.
Yes, they could still walk in for
We
free.
have bus load pull up, or we walk in and the bus will park somewhere else.
We can also charge a walk-in fee too.
Well, I'm just saying, it doesn't have that here, it's a park.
Well, we're trying to not go crazy, but yes, it could happen. It could happen. Go ahead.
Is it gonna be a seasonal pass, or is it a pass that we have to buy each time we go?
You can do a seasonal pass.
You can have either option.
Go ahead.
We had, in place last year, a code that was given if you use boat launch.
Correct, it worked well.
Why can't we do that with an email out to the townspeople with a code on our booth rather than?
Because if we charge out-of-towners, we have to
But
charge
we're
more.
not charging, we have a code, we don't
But
charge
that,
for the.
if we don't give that code to everybody who asks for that code, including anybody
But
from.
they would have to know to ask for it, and then you would know who was coming in.
Do you realize the problem you're gonna have with,
That sounds good, but we couldn't legally do that.
Ricans and the Hispanics and all that from Waterbury, who's gonna stand there and put up with those guys, that are gonna harass the crap out of
That
them?
is
I can't take it. Well, I know it is, but who's gonna stand there?
Please don't have side conversations.
Okay.
All right, I got a question. I grew up here, I went away for a long time, but it seems like there's a lot of lakes in Connecticut, and there's a lot of towns, and a lot of towns have town beaches. None of them are open to the public where you can just wander in. And when they started with, how did they make it work? Warren's got a couple of them, Goshen's got a couple of them, Litchfield's got them. Why is Morris so, just, we leave that thing wide open, and like you said, now you have boaters coming in and out. What happens to the town of Morris when a kid gets run over by a boat? Because that's
Exactly.
town property. I don't know why this town cannot
Well,
start
this
to
town-
move forward,
we need to put-
like the other town
You
beaches
need to
do.
put some money into it so that we can do that. What I've been told in the past is that because we have received state